And when I tell you that Genius Brain is done, what I mean by that is that after a while, I just didn't give a shit because it got exhausting.
Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. You know, as the days get shorter, it gets a little too easy to go into hibernation mode. But this time of the year is actually the perfect moment to check in on people you care about. I've been thinking about someone I haven't seen in a while, and honestly, even sending the first text feels, like a big step. But every time I actually reconnect, I always walk away wondering, why didn't I do this sooner? And guess what? Therapy is the same way. BetterHelp makes that first step a whole lot easier. The therapists are fully licensed, they follow a strict code of conduct, and they match you based on what your needs are. So you don't have to guess. With over 30,000 therapists and millions of people helped, they've built something that just works. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/genius. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/genius. Genius Brain listeners, I'm not letting big wireless steal my holiday joy this year. Not again. Every December, they hit me with a bill so disrespectful it should come with an apology letter. But Mint Mobile said not today, because right now, all their unlimited plans are 50% off 3, 6, or 12 months of premium unlimited wireless for $15 a month. 15, the same price as a sad airport sandwich. I get high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, and I get to keep my phone. No contracts, no nonsense, just my wallet finally catching a break. Turn your expensive wireless present into a huge wireless savings future by switching to Mint. Shop Mint Unlimited plans at mintmobile.com/genius. That's mintmobile.com/genius. Limited time offer. Upfront payments of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 a month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. 35 gigs may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
Check. Hello, everybody. Genius Brain listeners. It is I in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another. Is this in focus? Yes, it is. Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain podcast, solo edition in my room. My parents are outside right now talking to my wife, but I got to get this done. Listen, as you guys have noticed in the last month, the podcast has been a little spotty. We have been going through a lot of changes in terms of the Genius Brain podcast. And I wanted to take this time to kind of be very transparent with you, as I usually am and always will be. Within the next year, or starting next year, Genius Brain will be gone. It is something that I have been kind of mulling over for quite a while. And I think doing so many podcasts, I think I'm on like my 500th episode or something like that, or something getting close to it. And I've kind of been doing this on my own, and it got to the point where I was doing this pod, and I stopped interviewing new guests just because of the convenience of it. And there was just so many things going on, right? Not only do I have Jumbi, there's Secret Society, there's, my personal stuff. I haven't been able to create personal things on my channel in a very long time. And, when I started doing Genius Brain was kind of happened. It was definitely before COVID, but COVID was really what kind of, really set Genius Brain in this thing of I'm going to continue to do this, right? And I originally didn't think Genius Brain would be lasting this long. I've been doing it since pre-pandemic, so it's been over 5 years. And obviously the views aren't what it used to be, and mainly that's because of me. Genius Brain used to be this thing where I got to interview people, see different perspectives. After a while, I just didn't give a shit because it got exhausting. And when I tell you that Genius Brain is done, what I mean by that is that I want to give it one more chance in terms of I'm going to rebrand this starting next year. So for the rest of the year, all the way up into December, you will have classic Genius Brain episodes. But starting in January, Genius Brain will be switching into a different podcast, and it's going to be something that I can have fun with. Everything that I have done in the last 6 or 7 years has been done out of utility, right? I don't want to say everything, but a lot of the stuff. And I kind of miss being creative. And sometimes when you're looking at things from a logistical perspective, creativity gets thrown out the door, because creativity sometimes is not the safe move. And, like financially speaking, taking a risk is scary, right? Which is a big reason why a lot of people don't even pursue their dreams in the first place, because they think about financially where they're going to be at in the next few years. Creativity isn't really respected as much as most people think, right? And I'll give you a great example of that. When you look at online content, whether it's YouTube Reels, YouTube Shorts, or Instagram Reels, and etc., or anything very similar to that, how often do you really see new content, right? Or do you see a trend hit and then everybody fucking does it, and they milk it and milk it and milk it until it stops being popular anymore? The original content creators aren't credited for it. And just a few years ago, before fucking TikTok fucked everything up, it used to be like, oh, that's somebody else's content. Why are you stealing that? That's fucking whack, right? Go do your own shit. Be creative. No, it's not even that. They're like, well, if they did it, why can't I do it? And then people defend like this art stealing bullshit that happens all the time. And people do that because, number one, and I think a lot of people can agree on this, it's not easy being a creative, right? Having original ideas. I would say 98% of the world can't do that, right? But stealing ideas and then repurposing it to make yourself feel like you're a creative has been something that has been allowed in this space, and it has become a part of the norm, right? It is. It gave TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts gave uncreative people a way to feel creative, even though you're not. Like, you're not. And I understand, and that's not a knock on people. It just goes to show how hard it is to be an artist. Like, choosing the route of art is very, very difficult, right? And I'm not saying my ideas are completely original, but I try my best to kind of just do what I do and stay in my lane. Or if we're going to follow a trend, we try to do it to the best of our abilities to make it, to differentiate ourselves from what other people are doing, right? And I don't think people care about that nowadays. And Genius Brain was a space for me to kind of carve my own world in podcasting. And I don't think I really did that very well. I think a lot of the stories that I had on the podcast was great because it helped people that needed to hear certain things, right? When I brought Ed on as a guest originally, and I kept rotating other guests, I started leaving Ed on because I think the conversations that we had became very healing for a lot of like young Asian kids, right? Because we are so open about the stuff that happened in our lives, and we have done the due diligence in terms of like therapy and kind of extensive thought about where we're at, where we were before, that allowed people to heal a little bit. And sometimes we got to elaborate how you felt about situations that you've never been able to say before. And I think Ed did a great job of fulfilling that purpose, right? And Ed too, once again, he was also a paid guest. So now that I am in this space where I kind of want to be creative again, especially starting next year, I have been creating more, and I want to stay in this lane. It's been hard. It has been so fucking hard trying to get into this gear again, where I'm choosing the artistic route of being an artist versus choosing things that are a little more safe and financially stable. And because I haven't practiced this in so long, it's been kind of tough. Like, I have been sitting around just typing and typing all day, and sometimes nothing comes out of it. It'll be like 2-3 days of just me staring at a computer screen, typing, and nothing fucking happens. And I forgot what it was like to be in a creative rut and sit there and fight through all this self-doubt and fight through this whole arduous creative process to kind of put out something that's actually worth doing, right? And this last month has been super challenging for me, but getting back on this bike has been really good because I've been able to exercise a part of my brain I haven't done in a while. And this is a part of my brain that I've used for so long, but I stopped using, so I just didn't know what to do. Starting next year, I'm starting this new project, and I want to get back into food, but I want to do food in the way that I want to do it. And I just shot a couple of episodes, pilot episodes for this channel. It will be releasing soon. I have been editing it, and I'm glad to show you guys what that's going to be. And with this new podcast that I'm starting, it's going to be called Hurt So Good. Starting in January, this podcast is going to be a little different. It is going to be me basically, it's fun. It's going to involve you. This is actually a very crazy idea that I have that I don't think anybody has really done. And or if they have, I haven't seen it. So whatever, it's my idea. This new podcast is going to involve your participation. And what I mean by that is not just you chiming in for a call or whatever. The podcast guest that I want to have on this pod is you. You will be the podcast guest. If you are in the Los Angeles area, there will be a form for you to fill out. And when you fill out this form, this will depend on whether the producer picks you or not to be on the pod. Every podcast guest on Hurt So Good is going to be you. I want to talk to new people. And it doesn't have to be a celebrity. It doesn't have to be somebody with a huge following. But with Hurt So Good, the idea of it extended from the fact that, number one, I had these like long, extensive conversations about whether it's like personal life issues, drama, whatever that it is that people want to talk about, their past stuff that they need help in terms of somebody talking to them, especially with jokes and humor and everything else like that, to come on and then to have a conversation about some shit that they're going through. And that's why it's called Hurt So Good, because sometimes you have to feel pain or go through the pain to get to a better place. And Hurt So Good is going to be that. We're going to have this chair that you get to lay down on, almost like a therapy session. I sit in the other chair, and then you guys will fill out a form talking about the issue or problem that you have in your personal life, your love life, issue that you have with somebody else, issues that you have with yourself. You pick the topic, you delve in, you make sure that you write out something that'll make it interesting for people to listen to and for me to really deep dive into. We're going to have a good time. And if anybody who has met me knows that I'm great at speaking. And like I said, it's not real therapy. It's not real advice, but it's just somebody that you can chop it up with, somebody who has been like a bigger brother throughout your whole life. Now, if you're not in the Los Angeles area and you're crazy enough to fly out here because you want to be on this podcast, be my guest. At the end of this pod, or actually in the link below, you guys will find a link, a Google Doc that you can fill out. And you can send, or I have to figure that out. You could send basically, there's a series of questions that you have to be selected to be featured on a podcast episode. Just to give you guys a heads up, number one, in the podcast, I do not want you guys to say anything like, hey, I've watched you for a long time, and the compliment stuff. We'll have that we'll have one-on-one conversations after the pod, right? It is going to be a formatted show. It'll be 30 minutes long, where we get to deep dive into some of your drama. And I think that it'll be a fun time. And I think it's a great way for me to meet you and a great way for us to stay interactive with each other. I think this internet barrier where you guys just see me and never get to meet me in person is obviously good for privacy, but why not have you guys be a part of the fun too, right? Come on to this episode. I don't really care to get the biggest celebrities or stuff, and I never have. Just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean you're fucking interesting to talk to. So if you want to be a part of this new podcast called Hurt So Good, I would love for you to be on. I want you to be a guest. Trying new things like this is scary. It's very exciting. I realized that in the last year or so, I kind of lost my passion for the Genius Brain podcast. It's very reflective in the numbers. It's reflective in how I show up. And I truly believe that I need to continue to challenge myself. So I have to start fresh on certain things, start fresh on new content, start fresh on this podcast journey. I have totally not given up, but I've kind of moved on from the idea of wanting to even be a part of Hollywood. And I know that a lot of people, or a handful of people, are like, it's because you couldn't make it as an actor. Is that what you think it is? When you guys watch TV shows and acting and you see how bad these actors are, you think that's what it is? Bitch, I did a Sundance film on my first go. and I won a fucking award. Suck my fucking dick. Acting is not that hard. Shut the fuck up. And I don't want to hear it. I hear so many people talking about, you know what I have to do mentally to prepare for a role? Do you know what people have to do to mentally prepare for life in general and their jobs and their work? What the fuck are you talking about? We're not special. I absolutely hate it when actors act as if there's something special. You're not special. You play fucking pretend for a living.
Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. You ever notice how when the days get shorter, your world kind of shrinks with it? The sun sets early, everyone gets busy, and suddenly you realize you haven't checked in on someone you can care about or you do care about in months. This season can be tough for a lot of people, and sometimes just reaching out, sending that text, and grabbing coffee and reconnecting can make a huge difference. There's someone that, even I've been meaning to connect with. And guess what? It feels good when we finally catch up, but I'm always wondering why I didn't do it sooner. And honestly, that's the same feeling a lot of people get with therapy. It can feel intimidating to start, but once you do, you realize how much better it feels when you don't try to handle everything alone. BetterHelp gets this. Their therapists are fully licensed, held to a strict code of conduct, and they make the whole process a whole lot simpler than you think. You take a short questionnaire, and with their 12 plus years of experience and industry-leading match success rate, they usually get the match right the first time, and if not, you can switch anytime. Listen, this month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/genius. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/genius. Genius Brain listeners, I refuse to let big wireless ruin my holidays again. Every year, my phone bill shows up like a villain monologue. I open the email and suddenly I'm questioning my life choices. By this year, I'm choosing peace, joy, and a phone bill that doesn't punch me in the throat. Mint Mobile is running their best deal of the year right now. Unlimited plans are 50% off. I'm talking 3, 6, or 12 months of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. $15! I bought boba drinks more expensive than that, and those don't even come with 5G. I still get high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, and I can keep my phone in my number. No contracts, no gotcha fees, no big wireless nonsense. Just a good deal that makes me feel like I finally won something in life. So yeah, I'm not letting big wireless ruin my holidays, and you shouldn't either. Turn your expensive wireless present into a huge wireless savings future by switching to Mint. Shop Mint Unlimited plans at mintmobile.com/genius. That's mintmobile.com/genius. Limited time offer. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $108 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 a month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. 35 gig space slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage vary. See mintmobile.com.
Now, is studying for a role, memorizing all these lines, getting into character difficult? Yes, but your difficulty is not that special. Other people have jobs and livelihoods too that are also difficult. Knock it fucking off, man. The whole fucking acting scene is just a bunch of people sucking their own dick, just wanting people to believe that, oh my God, I'm dying for my fucking art. There's literally, I would say 2% of actors even worth their grain of salt that actually die for the art. Most people are just high-level narcissists that just want to be noticed all the time. They want to be famous. They want the red carpets. They don't give a shit about acting. 98% of them. How do I know this? Hey, dumbass, I've been in all those rooms. Let me tell you some of the funniest shit that I've been to. When I did the film, right, I was invited to everything. I was kind of put up as, oh, this is going to be the next big Asian dude. He's such a good actor, blah, 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 blah. All these agencies hit me up, all these casting directors, everything else, and they were awesome. They were great people. The actors, though, were the hardest people to be around. It's almost as if they are soulless people looking to attach to anybody with body warmth just to propel their career somewhere. It's the saddest, most disgusting thing. You think that some of these people on Reddit are fucking weirdos. They're the same people who are these desperate actors. It's not any fucking different. These actors like to shit on Redditors. You're literally them. You're literally them. Though, i.e. the famous actor who was a fucking Reddit sub-dweeb that became a very famous Asian actor. You know who you are. That's exactly who it is. Yeah, so let me tell you the story where I went to this mixer I was invited to by a very famous network, right? And it was supposed to be a networking event. And I started to realize that I am a sore thumb when it comes to these events. And I've stuck out a lot. When you tell me it's a mixer, that I'm just there to meet people and chop it up, I don't care what I fucking look like. I don't care to do any of that type of stuff. I just showed up as myself, which actually kind of worked to my benefit because a lot of casting directors actually met me and they remembered me. And I remember I was having a conversation with a bunch of people, and there was this guy there that was just laughing his ass off at everything that I was saying. And I wasn't really saying anything funny at all. Lo and behold, I'm like, after 10 or 15 minutes, I start to realize, I think this guy thinks that I'm some casting director or executive, right? Just because I dressed up so casually and it looked like I didn't really give a shit about anything, maybe that was the vibe that I was giving out, which was true. But after a while, I stopped and I was like, hey, brother, what do you think I do for a living? And he was like, oh, it's like, I'm assuming you're a casting director. And I'm like, no, I'm an actor, just like you. He's like, oh, I was like, you ain't gotta do all this like fake laughing shit. Like, I didn't even say nothing funny. And I think he was like so thrown off by me saying that. Number one, after he got caught, he turned a little red. He was a little bit embarrassed and he got really defensive. He goes, no, I wasn't like that, man. Like, I ain't trying to press nobody. I'm like cool as fuck. And, gets a little irritated. And obviously he walks away from that conversation. But, getting called out is very uncomfortable for him. And I started to realize like, oh, all these fucking people here are just like him. They would do absolutely anything. If it were to sell their soul, sell the teeth that are attached to their gums just to be recognized, they would fucking do it. And this is not artistry. This is a fucking business. And I think that was something that kind of turned me off to acting, or maybe the acting world. I still love acting. I think acting is very, very fun. I think it's a very pure art if you want it to be. But I started to realize that this wasn't the space for me. Now, having said that, what that connects to is why I'm a little bit disappointed in myself in terms of why, if I made the choice not to be a part of traditional media, why have I not put that same amount of effort, love, and focus into YouTube and the stuff that really set me up for success in the first place? And it took a lot of like deep dive and thinking on this, and I just couldn't figure out why I couldn't pull the trigger. And to be honest with you, I think after like reaching a certain amount of success, I didn't want to grind anymore. And it's not a snobby thing. It's just more like I felt like I did my due diligence and I paid for everything. So it's like I did the work. So why do I have to go back to this? And then I thought to myself, it's like, wait, go back to what? You're not going backwards into anything. Social media is fun. This YouTube thing is fun. There is no red tape here. Whatever I want to create, I can do. Nobody tells me no. Nobody tells me yes. I can create here. For a while, it became a difficult space ever since they had the adpocalypse thing and YouTube was taking every bit of content down, demonetization. That kind of killed my spirits as well too. But now that has been fixed and coming back here, I started to realize that, dude, I think this is where I want to live for the rest of my career. And it's really fun and interesting to really think about that. It's like something that I thought was going to be a platform for me to kind of move away from and reach bigger things. And when I reached bigger things, it turns out that I didn't even like it here. And now I'm going back to this and I'm 10 times happier here. I want to cultivate this part of the space where I feel like it gave me an opportunity to connect to people and kind of create stuff that I wouldn't have been able to do on my own. If I went the traditional route of only doing stand-up or only doing acting, I would have to wait for other people to give me a handout to be successful, and I don't need that. I've always had you guys. I've always had the ability to create whatever I wanted. And a lot of the times people don't understand that. They don't understand why I chose not to act. They don't understand it at all. And sometimes with people that I know that are my peers, it infuriates them. I had an acting buddy of mine tell me like, dude, I think you're wasting your talent and you're wasting your life, when I would kill to have, casting directors hit me up and have all these like job opportunities to audition into these big roles. I would kill for that. And the hard thing for this guy to understand and wrap his head around when I explained to him was like, your opportunities are your opportunities, mine are mine. What you look as an opportunity is not how I see it, because it's not something that I want. So when you look at what I do and you say that I'm wasting it away, it's a waste for you because it's a lifestyle that you seek. But what if it's not something that I want? You never asked in this conversation, do I want to do this? You never asked. You just said, well, if I was in your shoe, I would want this. I don't give a fuck what you want. I care about what I want and what I want to pursue and where I'm happy. Most people don't understand this. And I've been asked this question too. What would you do if YouTube wasn't here? Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares what I would have done? Who cares? I would have worked a regular job, got married, had kids, lived happy and died. That's what would have happened. Is that sad to you? Is it that sad? You wouldn't have been famous. Who the fuck cares? I'm going to die one day, so are you. Who the fuck cares? This is just a path of life that God chose for me and that I chose for myself. That's all. That's it. Fame or not, who cares? So many of y'all worry so much about this like fame thing and this clout thing. It kills me, man. I don't understand when like a younger generation, or even, I don't even say that. People always blame the youth for everything. People my age, why do you guys care so much? Nobody understands how short life is, and where you spend your time is going to be the most important. And if you're worried about whether you're recognized by the time you die, guess what? Fame comes and goes. You'll be respected the next, respected one day, hated the next, remembered one day, forgotten the next. All you should ever care about is who you affect in your immediate circle and what you want the people who care about you to remember you by. That's it. That's all that matters. Making jokes makes me happy. Creating content makes me happy. And I need to get out of this vicious cycle of like second guessing and doubting myself and being like, okay, well, oh God, I got to carry my camera. Do I have to set this all up again? It doesn't matter, dude. Just create. And with a new podcast, I get to step into this like creative space again that I haven't stepped into in a very, very long time. And I'm very happy to have you guys a part of it. If for anybody out there that's kind of scared to try something new, this is your sign. Go out there and do it. You have one life to live. So corny. I've heard it a million times, but I think sometimes when you have it so good, you're not around people who don't have your opportunities. It kind of puts in perspective like how short life is, and for you to really pursue the things that you want. I'm not saying like the other guy where he's telling me to pursue acting because it was something that he wanted. I think that's very different. What I'm saying is that if there is something that you desire, I would hate for you to be on your deathbed and say, I wish I could have done more. That's my biggest fear. I've said it on this podcast a million times. I never want to be in that position ever again. When I was, before YouTube anyways, when I was trying to do comedy and everything else, and the relationship between me and my parents weren't very good, and I tried living life the way that they wanted, I remember I used to wake up every day like it was Groundhog's Day, like I was stuck in this vicious cycle. I would wake up without a purpose, without a care, go to my part-time job, go to my classes at Sac State, wake up, do it all over again. And it felt like I was in this infinite loop without purpose. I never, ever want to feel that way about my life ever again. The last time I ever felt like that was when I was 19 years old. I will never, ever, ever feel that way again. And I think that me kind of going through the motions of like creating content and just always nitpicking everything that I'm doing made me feel like I was going back to that point when I was 19 years old again. And I just don't want to do that. I want to stay creative. I want to keep continuing to do things that make me happy. And I want you guys to kind of follow that too. And by the way, when I say I'm a little different than most other creators, just because I tell you to pursue the things that you care about and want in life, I'm not guaranteeing you that you'll be successful. I'm not saying that at all. You might fail miserably. And in fact, you might absolutely suck at the things that you want to do. You might. Just because you want to be a singer doesn't mean you're fucking good at it. Just because you want to be in the NBA doesn't mean you'll make it. But I'll tell you something, trying means everything. Enjoying the process is everything. Enjoy the fucking journey. I wanted to be a musician too. I got better at singing, I got better at music, but I'm not really using it in my life anymore. Do I regret it? No, I tried. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it turns out it wasn't for me. So many of you don't want to try things because you're so scared that you may not succeed. And sometimes or maybe for me, all the time. The success is not what I care about. I care about what I'm learning about and the process of doing the things that I enjoy. I do not regret failing. I do not regret trying. I appreciate the journey. And I hope you guys will take something from this, right? I hope you guys take something from the fact that I'm revamping this podcast and constantly challenging myself on this channel every day. And I hope that really applies to you in your life too. So many times I get emails, messages like, oh, how do I figure out my life like you do? I never told you I figured out my life. I'm not. This is why life is fun. Forever changing, forever new. The inconsistency of life is the part that makes it the most exciting. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing ever. I'm stumbling and tripping and falling just like you. I just make it look good. That's all. Well, guys, next year's going to be a fun year. Be a man of my word. I'm working on it right now. Hurt So Good is already in motion. The artwork is there. I will be starting to log a few episodes in December and early January. So at the end of this podcast, I want you guys who want to be a part of this pod, that have something here, that want to come out to Los Angeles and record an episode with me, or if you're in Los Angeles, to come out here to be a part of the podcast. That would be fantastic, and I would love it. A couple episodes, I'm probably going to have a couple of my friends on too as well. So Genius Brain every Sundays at 12 p.m. Thank you guys for being a part of the journey. Genius Brain every Sundays at 12 p.m. till January, and then it'll be Hurt So Good every Sundays at 12 p.m. Thank you guys very much. I love you all. December will have consistent uploads until we end the pod. I will see you all next time. Peace.